Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is video number 2 in 2 days. Y'all, I just released a video on Friday on the reality of standby travel. Check it out if you have not checked it out yet. And I have changed my setup just a little bit. As a matter of fact, let me show you this. This is my new setup with my new desk. I'll put the link to this little itty bitty desk on Amazon. It was perfect for my space and it might actually help you out too. So you get a new view of my room. I don't have a studio yet, or probably not in the near future at all, but this is my room. I just think it's a better view. Opens it up a little bit. Now, I've been talking a lot about flight attendant travel, whether it be free standby travel or whether it be, flight attendant interview, like possible interview questions and answers to help you kind of prepare to get the job, or maybe what to expect in flight attendant training. And some of you have even reached out and said that you got the job at the airline you were going for, and I'm so happy to hear that. I'm not saying it's because of me. I'm just saying that I'm happy to help out with that. So I was really excited when I hear that kind of stuff. As my theme has gone for the past video, there's two sides to every coin. So we got to talk about something that's a little more difficult to talk about because you only see one side of the flight attendant lifestyle. What you see and what other people see is the Instagram clout, right? All you see is look, that flight attendant is in Egypt, in Tel Aviv, in Paris, in London. This is incredible. They're always somewhere and they're posting beautiful pictures, beautiful content on their social media. That must be an incredible life. And if I'm being 100% honest, it is. It's actually incredible. It's amazing because you really are in these places. It's not a backdrop. You're really exploring these cities and getting to travel every week, every month, every year. But there is a flip side to that, and that's what this video is going to dive into today. So let's talk about the 5 things you probably didn't expect as a flight attendant. Number 1, loneliness. As a flight attendant, you're always somewhere. You're always with people. As a matter of fact, if you do 3 flights a day, let's say, and there's 200 people on those flights, that is 600 people you're coming in contact with. And that's just passengers. That's not even to include your flight crew, your multiple pilots, the gate agents you interact with. So at the end of all of that, after interacting with all these people and being there for all these people, you go to a cold hotel room night after night after night. And I feel like this doesn't get talked about enough. Nobody really preps those going into the flight attendant role for the loneliness you feel when you go to a hotel room after being with people all day long. And it's not just being with people in general all day long, it's the fact that you're with new people all the time, daily. Because those 3 flights I mentioned, that was for one day. That's 600 people for one day. You still have the next day and the next day. Typically, flights come in 2 or 3 days. Sometimes they come in 1, sometimes in 4. There's different situations. But as a general rule, 2 and 3 day trips, pretty typical. And not only are you alone in the hotel room, but you're also missing holidays with family. Because while other jobs take off for the holidays, well, planes still fly, so they still need flight attendants. So your first 2 to 5 years as a flight attendant are typically working the holidays. It's really difficult to get off those holidays. Now, some people do. You squeak by sometimes, but understand as a general rule, you are working those holidays for the first couple of years of your flight attendant job. And there is a sense of sadness or depression that comes with being in that hotel room alone because you have all day of this numbing with people because you're constantly interacting with other people all the time. And then all of a sudden there's silence in the hotel room. It's just you, and you turn the TV on to have some kind of voices in the background because it's weird to have silence after all of that time. Sometimes it's nice, but that sadness and that loneliness really does set in. So my advice to this is just have someone on standby to be able to talk to. Family members, friends, that kind of thing. Because while being alone after dealing with 600 people is nice, it does start to kind of get to you. Number 2, people fatigue. Let's use that 3 flights a day example as I was talking about earlier. You've got 600 people that you're constantly taking care of, greeting, saying hello to, and then also deplaning. Well, at first you're like, oh, I love people, this is great. But after meeting 600 people a day, let's say you have 3 flights for 3 days, that is 1,800 people that you are meeting, greeting, and deplaning every single day for 3 days. That's a lot. And when you're greeting passengers as they board, this does happen from time to time. You'll say, hi, welcome aboard. And you may get nothing from that passenger. Either they didn't hear you or they just decide not to respond. And that can weigh on a person. Or while you're serving, you could say, hey, would you like anything to drink? And people may have their headphones in and not hear you. And so you're repeating yourself over and over and over. So that people fatigue is a real thing. Number 3, exhaustion. Now, exhaustion is not new. It's not like this is just, whoa, I didn't expect to be exhausted in the flight attendant world. But think about this for a second. A flight from Atlanta to Alabama, let's say Birmingham. That's a 30, 45-minute flight, takeoff to touchdown. I mean, it is a short flight. Well, as a passenger, you're still exhausted when you land because flying is exhausting to anybody. But as a flight attendant, it's a new form of exhaustion. Because imagine doing that one flight 4 times a day. So Atlanta, Alabama, Alabama, Atlanta, Atlanta, Alabama, Alabama, Atlanta. That is a lot. That is a ton of up and down and up and down and up and down. You're doing each of those flights without being able to take a nap because you can't sleep on the jump seat. That's a huge no-no. And you can't do any kind of personal pastimes. You can't be on your phone. You can't be scrolling TikTok or Instagram or work on your laptop. And that up and down constantly wears on your body. Not only that, though, when you do have layovers, you're in different time zones. You're in different countries. You're always somewhere new. You're also in a different bed. So while other jobs, yes, they're exhausting. I get it. I'm not belittling that at all. The flight attendant job is a different type of exhaustion. Number 4, you work days as opposed to hours. So the average worker goes to work for 8 hours and then comes home, goes to bed, gets up, goes to work for 8 or 9 hours and comes home, goes to bed. And the cycle repeats Monday through Friday. As a flight attendant, you leave for work and you're gone for 2 to 3 days typically. And like I said earlier, yes, you can have a one day where it's a turn, right? You go to Birmingham and back, which that's rare. Let's say you go to JFK and back, right? Atlanta, JFK, JFK, back, and that's it. That's your day. But that's typically senior people that can kind of hold that. Because remember, as in the flight attendant world, everything is by seniority. So you got to have that tenure in the company. So if you're just starting out, more than likely you're doing 2 or 3, maybe even 4 days at a time. So when you leave for work, you're gone for 2 or 3 days. Now, in those days, you may only work 6 hours of total flight time, 7 hours of total flight time, maybe more. But even just with those 6 hours, once again, you are going to a hotel room. You're not going back to your own home, your own bed. Instead, you're in a new place, in a hotel room with a crew that you may or may not know, probably don't know, and who you may or may not hang out with. And if they don't really want to hang out and you're just kind of alone, while it's fun to explore the city, it can go back to number 1, which is being lonely. And to compare it to other people when they say, oh, I've got 3 hours of work left and then I'm cool to hang out. Well, flight attendants typically are like, yeah, I'm on day 2, so I'll be able to hang out tomorrow because I got one more day of work. We don't even talk about hours. We just say, oh yeah, I've got 2 more days left. Oh yeah, I've got a 3-day this weekend. I've got a 2-day this weekend, or whatever. It's always a 2-day, 3-day. Number 5, you do not have a set routine. Now, like I mentioned earlier, a senior flight attendant may have more of a routine because a senior flight attendant can hold JFK to LA, LA to JFK, and then that's their day. That's a good chunk of hours right there, and they just do the day. But like I mentioned, more junior flight attendants more than likely do not have that routine. Instead, they're getting sent to different domestic places or even international, and it's constantly changing. Plus, with flight schedules and the way that airlines work, you never really have a guarantee of what you're doing. So while you plan, hey, I've got LA this weekend, I'll be in LA. Well, there could be a reroute or a flight cancellation or something like that, and all of a sudden, oh, never mind, you're going to Fort Lauderdale. Well, that's a huge difference, and that's 2 different coasts. And your schedule is rarely perfect or repetitive. So it's really difficult to have that routine, especially if you like to work out. Well, you land at 9 p.m. one night and then 6 a.m. another morning, and then you land at 3 p.m. another day, and you barely had time to eat. So it's just like, when do I work out? When do I eat healthy? I'm in an airport. You're always on the go. It's really difficult to establish a routine. Notice, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying, oh, this is awful, you'll never get it down. No, you will, and people really do a great job. They'll meal prep and all that stuff. But these are struggles and things that people don't really think about when they enter into the flight attendant job. So I want you to consider that your workday is always changing. You sleep at different times, different time zones, different hotels. You're in different places all the time. Some nights you get put on a red eye, so you're awake all night, and then you sleep during the day, and then you got another flight that evening, and then you got another flight the next day. So your sleep schedule is completely off. There's really not a sense of normalcy except that everything is abnormal. Now, this may actually sound great to some, and I get it. It was actually sounded great to me when I first started too. Because when I first started, I was like, good, no sense of normalcy. I love that. But after a year or two, you do still kind of crave that routine, right? Being able to get up in the morning, go work out, come back, shower, get ready for your day, go to work, come back in the evening, hang out with friends, hang out with family, and then kind of repeat the process and look forward to the weekends. Flight attendants don't necessarily have that because they're typically working on the weekends, working in the weekdays, and they're gone for, like I mentioned, 2 to 3 days at a time. So it's hard to really plan things out. And those are the 5 things you probably didn't expect as a flight attendant. And you know what? If you did, great. I'm glad you're prepared for it. This video is for those who maybe not prepared for that and like, I didn't really think about all that. Not to dissuade you from the job. The job itself is really incredible. I can't stress that enough. The benefits that come with it, the fact that you're always in somewhere new and you can be wherever you want, anytime you want, is incredible. But there's two sides to every coin, and so I wanted to make this video so you were prepared and you didn't go, oh, I thought this was all positive. No, some things are a struggle and can be a burden, and the burdens are manageable. I just didn't want them to come out of nowhere. And that is the video, y'all. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, like I mentioned, this desk, this is, I've got an Amazon link if you want it. It's real simple to put together, and it fits in like a 30-inch space if I'm not mistaken. Check out that link below. Also, I'll put the link to any of the video equipment I use or the sound equipment I use, this little mic, for my YouTube videos. Y'all, I cannot wait to talk to you next video. Make sure to subscribe and share the video with your flight attendant friends or anyone else. Y'all, I'll make new content. Just let me know what you want to see. Otherwise, I'm sticking with the flight attendant thing, and I'll talk to y'all this week. How about that? I'll talk to y'all this week. God be with you.